Hey, what's up, everybody? Morph here. Today, we are going to be talking about the big drama in Duet Night Abyss. Dead game. End of service when? Patch 1.1 fail. Is it really? Well, you're about to find out the reality. Coming from a Duet Night Abyss content creator, some people will say I am very biased towards the game. Well, I am honestly not, because I am one of the most critical ones about the game. I have stated what I dislike about it. I have defended some things that people don't like about it. But more often than not, I am pretty damn critical because I want the devs to create the best game possible. The problem is, they not listening to a small YouTuber like myself. But let's give it a go, shall we? Alright, so we're here in the new map, Huashu. Honestly, map design, map area, everything in this place, the overworld, is really good. I personally like it. I like these little design things that they have on top of mountains. I like that little area of this spot where Fushu stays. Really cool. There's like a nice little pond area in the back. There's like water effects, which isn't present in the game at launch. Nice. It's just a nice area. It's a huge area too. But before we go exploring, there is one complaint about the new map. Here we go. Creator getting mad, but not really. I'm not mad about this. I just wanted a little bit more. Alright, so if you go over to the map, the area or the island space is actually huge, but what you're actually exploring in 1.1 is this glowing section right here. So the map looks gigantic, right? It's a big area. But the only place you can explore is the golden or the highlighted part, the bright part. I do understand that maybe the access to these other areas on the map is on future patches, which is on January 21. So maybe, but a lot of it looks like it's just like mountainous areas that you can't really explore. So I don't know. We'll see. Also, like Keizo's hometown isn't here yet. They mentioned it in the story, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But judging from what I've seen, I'm a little bit disappointed that I can't explore everything. Like I can't just go. I think I can go to some places. Like I could definitely go on top of this spot right here, which is cool, but there's nothing here, which doesn't matter. I can go on top of this thing here, also pretty cool. But here's what I'm talking about. That you see that hut up there? That seems like something is there, but I can't get to it. It automatically teleports me down towards this area of the map. So that leads me to believe either that's just an out of bounds thing and it's just assets outside of the actual play area, or it's future stuff for the future. Okay, so overall, awesome looking map. I mean, this part is definitely really beautiful to look at. This like fall area kind of reminds me. It's nice how the transition of colors change. You can find it here, right on this spot. See, it gradients to green. Just overall, I really like the area. It's a very beautiful map. Now, 1.1 map aside, story. The story was okay. Typical 7 out of 10 story. Could have been. I mean, it's not done yet, so. But from what we got, ooh, look, a chest. No, there's stuff to do. From what we got, though, I was satisfied with the story. I want more, though. It's just kind of weird that in the beginning of the story, you leave Ice Lake and you don't like talk to Fina, you don't talk to Outsider, you don't tell him that you're going somewhere. It's just funny that you just go up and leave your boy, right? He was helpful in that first part of the story. and then bang, you're gone. So story-wise, also good. I do not want to show it on the video because I don't want to spoil anybody. Now let's talk about performance. In the game, it's actually performing really well. I have very few issues with lag. There is one portion of the map though that lags pretty weird for me. I'm gonna try and find it. It's not here. It's like a hole in the ground where it gets pretty damn laggy. I think it's somewhere here. Yeah, this spot. This spot is where I lag quite a bit. There's some noticeable frame drop here. Right there. Exactly here. There you go. That spot. This feels weird, but it's just in that one spot. I don't know how to explain it, but it's pretty laggy. And as you can see too, my model is kind of slow, but it's not as slow as I thought it would. Judging from how big the map is, I personally thought the Morph model will be like cooked. Like I wouldn't be able to be super smooth, but it's not so bad. Not so bad. If you guys don't know anything about VTuber models, when you have a VTuber model, you're recommended to run the game at 60 FPS, but it just feels ugly to play this game on 60 FPS. There's really that performance spike in this area. Alright, let's try to get out of here so that we can have a nicer, no frame drop experience. Alright, we're out. Let's stand by this bridge thing right here. Oh, look, it's a dragon statue. I just noticed that. Very beautiful map. I can't glaze it enough. Alright, so we talked about the map. We talked about the story being 7. Performance, you saw that it was having some frame drops in that one spot. But other than that, it's been good for me. I do know that some people are having issues because of the automatic co-op in this whole Mistdorf area. Because the devs wanted it to be like, you find a person like this guy, just openly exploring with you. And you could just like hang out together if you want to. They wanted that option. I dig it. I like that it's like this, but it's causing lag issues for some people. Personally, me, no problem. So the biggest problem right now is actually in this spot right here. Immersive theater is causing a lot of problems for people. I knew this coming in. I warned people about this. In the podcast, I was the only one that was the biggest absolute hater for immersive theater. Not that the boys were saying that it wasn't good or anything, but I was just the biggest one that said it's flat out slop. I hate theater. I hate the tower. I've always hated this. And the fact that the Nemo gets it 3 times in a row is just stupid. But what really makes the tower bad this time is this. You go over here and then you look at the buffs and debuffs. This is a huge problem. Alright, first of all, Hydro and Nemo get that 400% and everybody else get minus 50. I've already hated this long ago. I will not get into that. This invincibility cadence thing is just terrible. I wish they'd get this out of the game. I've always hated this. It's bad. Allegro agitato. This one is a weird, kinda useless, if you ask me, buff. Unless you are playing Consonance weapons or actual melee, sorry, not Consonance weapons, but like melee DPS and range DPS, weapon damage dealing characters. Which there are no real good ones except, of course, for Outsider for this tower. But even then, it's not too good. Not that great. It's kind of nice, but the problem is the boss is flying and always getting invulnerable. We'll get to that in a bit. This buff, however, Adante Furioso is good. It gives you 10% attack speed 6 times, so it's 60%. And of course, skill speed is also good for skill damage builds, for skill spammers. But the problem is, there is no damage positive buff that scales big. Last time we had a big one from Fina's buffs in the tower. It was a very nice tower. You could clear the tower with many different characters. Doesn't even have to be the same elements, but it was clearable with those characters. This time, it's not clearable. And here's where it gets even worse. Defense variation Brotherhood. Enemy units take 60% reduced damage. What? This reduction diminishes by 10% each time they take damage from a different ally to the previous one. This is okay. The problem with this is that it's hard to deal with that flying one. I'm just saying. And having this just feels terrible on top of other buffs. Like this debuffs. This one is also pretty bad. Coordinated Adagio. Allies lose 50% weapon damage and gain 100% crit damage. So I guess they want you to get this buff and then build a crit damage build, which is sensible, but still, you don't want to lose a big chunk of your damage doing so. This is for allies, so maybe it's just on companions, so it might not be a big deal, but it's still a bad debuff to the team. But this buff, defense variation, thoroughly tempered. Damage taken by enemy units per hit is capped at 35% of their max HP. This feels terrible when you're trying to get to the boss, makes it a lot more difficult for more characters to do this, but it is possible. It just takes a bit longer. And yeah, it's a little bit of a nail biter to get there. Now here's the thing. This boss, Beast from the Snowfield, it's not even the hard boss, right? It's not even the Act 6, Act 12, Act 18. It's not the multiple of 6 boss. It's the multiple of 5 boss. Or sorry, it's the one before that. This thing is just impossible to do without a flying unit that can hit hard while in the sky. And the only unit that does that is Psyche. I know that there might be a skill damage outsider build, but you know, it is pretty damn hard to build that and make it work. They just want you to play Psyche. They've been glazing Psyche too much, and I personally do not like it. I have always hated Psyche, and they did it again in this mode. Again. Now, that's not where the end of the problem is. So it's like the biggest complaint is that the devs are introducing artificial difficulty to the game in order for you to grind harder and pay to win or whatever. I, for one, this is going to be a hot take and a lot of you will not like this take. But I don't like, personally, I don't like the theater. Right? So that's not where the hot take is. But what I do like is the devs want to make the game harder. I do like that they're thinking about that now, because really, the game is so easy before that I could clear everything without even having to farm for the wedges that we are supposed to be farming for. The plus 10 gold wedges are not that useful before. Now, they actually have purpose. Plus, they introduced the new wedges of the Anemo one, which we'll also get into. That I'm not a huge fan of. That it's only Anemo. You guys already know this. But, yeah, at least they're giving difficulty content a little bit of focus. Now, it might not be good for now. This is because it's the only end game that they can experiment with testing out, making the game harder. But the fact that they're trying to make the game harder, I think, is a net positive thing. They just did it in the wrong way for now. They should have saved it for maybe the queso part of the story, or maybe even after that. But I do like that they're thinking about making the game harder, which leaves some people into thinking that the game is going pay to win, because not everybody has the time to farm for the wedges, which in my opinion, I think that's just a you problem, because, if you want to play the game, you'd set aside time for it. Yeah, I know that casual players and people are busy with life, and some of the players will not be able to grind the wedges. But that's just the deciding factor, I guess. That's where you have to think, is this game really for me? I personally want the game to have more players, because more players equals more viewership. More viewership equals more chance for my channel to pop off. But 1.1, the way the game really is, this is a wake-up call or a culling of the sheep moment. Because Duet Nairobis is about grinding, and it is a heavy, heavy grind game. If you can't take the grind, then this game just might not be for you. And the devs have shown that they are catering towards higher grinding content, and eventually they're gonna be releasing content that you will be needing the necessary power-ups to do the content. I have a lot of wedges, right? You guys have seen my wedge page for like my electro team. Let's just use this as an example. Multiple plus 10 stuff. Some people even have everything 10'd out. That's crazy. I do not have everything 10'd out, because I also have Anemo wedges, a few of them like this one. And I also have some pyro wedges like this one. Wildfire, Spectrum, Midnight Sun. You guys get the point? I spent a lot on my wedges because I have like different multiple element team types that I want to play. I also farmed out a lot of Hydro wedges. That took a lot of time. If you want to see how long it took, it's gonna take you this much amount of time. Granted, like 40 plus hours of this was just AFK, just hanging out or leaving the game open. But 600 hours is a long time. And that's where people think I'm out of touch by saying, oh yeah, it's fine that the game's gonna go harder. It really will go harder, guys. And that's just how it is. It's time for you to decide, am I gonna play this game or am I not? And if you're not down to play it, to grind, then you're better off in like Wuwa, some gacha game that you play for 30 minutes a day or an hour a day, and you're good. There is another problem right now that people are talking about, and the reason why I'm saying, oh, it's going pay to win. It's going pay to win because you can just buy demon wedges now. It is true that you can buy the demon wedges now. Not gonna lie that it's here. I think it's this one, right? Amplification, this thing, Demon Wedge Amplification. This replaces the need of you having to spend hours farming something, and it's limited to 3 purchases every week, I think, or 4 days, whatever. It's every week. So this resets weekly, and you can get 3 of these. 3 of these is just equal to about 3 hours or less of farming. That's all this. Well, maybe I would say it's about 4 to 5 hours of farming. That's what 3 of these equalize into. Is that a lot? I really don't think so. If you want to save 3 hours, then yeah, just buy this, I guess. And then bang, you're good. But other than that, it's not really pay to win. Some people are saying, oh, now we have to buy boosters because everything's harder to get. There's no more double materials and mommy, so hard. It's not. I mean, if you go to Noctujager manual, the material that you're gonna use to farm this thing, it's you need 100, right? It's double. But the drop rate of this thing isn't nowhere near the drop rate of this thing. This thing drops a lot harder to get. These ones are a lot easier to get. Even if you need more of it, it still won't take too long. I really don't understand why some people are hating on the grind. Yes, I know it's boring, but this is what you're playing the game for. You bought into, you didn't even buy into it. You played it for free. You downloaded it for free. You opened the game, you started it out. You should have done your due diligence and learn that the game is a heavy grind game. Warframe is a heavy grind game. This game is heavily influenced by that game. So, yeah, all I can say, it's not a get good. It's just, just realize that this is the way the game is modeled. The devs put that item in there for the people that like the game and want to keep playing it and support it, but they don't have the amount of time. And it also gives whales something to whale on. And a live service game needs monetization to monetize itself and give us more updates and content to pay for their studio. If it doesn't make money, end of service. That's why this item was put into the game, because they knew, alright, some people use this, buy this, and we'll make money off this. But in reality, you don't have to. It's just about playing the game. But yes, I know, not everybody has the time. And in a sense, if you want to compare it to the gacha games, when you don't have the time in the gacha games, or when it's actually different, when you don't have enough money to buy an i6 copy of all the elements, you're gonna only pick the meta characters that are good. Well, if you don't have the amount of time, then you're only gonna play or farm the wedges for that specific elemental team that you want to main on. And then that's basically the gacha equivalent. Time of grind versus money for gacha pool. That's really it. That's why I don't see that a lot of the things people are doom posting about isn't a big problem to me, except for the theater. I do not like the theater. You guys have got me agreeing with that. In terms of the pay to win, it's absolutely not a thing. All right? So, that's it. That's it for me. I think that the game is fine. I am enjoying every bit of it. Am I gonna quit? No, I'm gonna keep playing. And if you are somebody that's loyal to Duet Night Abyss, or just generally like the game for what it is and you're gonna keep playing it, then I welcome you to like the video and of course hit that sub, because your boy is still gonna be here no matter what. End of service, dead game, whatever. I'm gonna play through it. I'll play it till it's gone. Doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try other games. I am gonna try Enfield. Alright? I'll see you all on the next video. Peace!